Yo, check it out. This your man Rapper Big Pooh, and right now I'm kicking it with my people, DJ Q and Coach Kareem, before the record podcast. You already know.
Yo, what up, though? Once again, we back up in here.
What up? What up?
Your man DJ Q.
And Coach Kareem.
This is For the Record podcast. Hey, this is another one of them shows, man, where it's like, I'm so glad to be here. This is, because the guest we got today, to me, got one of the best discographies in hip hop also. All the way back from his group days with the legendary group Little Brother. I mean, they had classic joints like The Listener.
Chillin' Circuit.
Chillin' Circuit mixtapes. Get Back. Left Back. Joints. Then a tough solo career.
Woo.
Bangers every year. Dirty Pretty Things. He even had the joint Words Paint Pictures with Apollo Brown. The Fat Boy Fresh series. 1, 2, and 3. I got them all.
Yes, sir.
And he was one of the early dudes, one of the first dudes to do a song featuring K-Dot. Better known to y'all casual rap fans as Kendrick Lamar now.
Yes, sir.
My man, all the way. From the days of Little Brother onto his solo career, one of the dopest rappers in the game. Rapper Big Pooh, ladies and gentlemen.
Yo.
What an introduction.
Hey,
Made it out.
Hey, it's only right. You know what I'm saying? When you do an introduction, when you introduce a legendary guest, you got to do it right.
You got to do it right, my brother.
You got to do it right. You know what I mean? So, man, I'm so glad to have you on the show.
Man, appreciate y'all having me.
Yes, and we gonna get this in, man. You know, but first things first, we gotta have a take your hat off moment, just out of respect. Take your hat off for George H.W. Bush. Even though I'm not a Republican, but you know, just out of respect, you know what I mean. So, with that being said, now we took your hat off to the 41st president. There's a standard rule on this show, Rapper Big Pooh, that we do. Every guest on here has got to give us their top 5 MCs of all time.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how we do it.
I can lay it down. Ain't too much of a thing.
Okay.
This is in no particular order. You know, I like to put that disclaimer out there early.
Okay.
But I got Big, Jay, Nas, Scarface, and...
You said Kane?
He said Scarface.
Scarface.
Scarface, okay. I thought you said Big Daddy Kane last. Okay.
And for me, that fifth slot, it varies on the day, but today I'm gonna go Ice Cube today.
Oh, okay.
So, hey, listen,
that's
man.
A safe top 5 right there.
Normally on this show, I am the top 5 dead or alive police. I can't argue with that top 5, my brother.
Nah.
That's a hell of a top 5 right there, my G.
It is. It's a really dope top 5.
That fifth slot is a rotating spot for me depending on the day, but the top 4 have never changed.
Okay.
Okay. So that cube might change from cube to a.
Yeah. That could be KRS one day. It could be Kane one day. It just depends. On how I'm feeling that day.
Okay. I got a couple questions from a couple people from Facebook. Shout out to my man Keon Spearman. He said, "Do you miss recording at Chop Shop Studios?"
Most definitely. Chop Shop Studios, that was our studio we had. Those set that up. The goal was to always have a place that we could go and not have to worry about, having to book time, not have to worry about rushing, not have to worry about strangers, being in with strangers or whatever. So that was our own private studio, and it was a bonding place, man. that's how you got all them crazy combinations from different people in Justice League and later Hall of Justice. But you know, you never knew who was gonna be at the studio that day, or it was times in our younger days when we would go out and party and then leave the party and go to the studio and record. So, you know, I had a lot of guests come through there. Boot Camp Click, Gene Gray, Murs, like, you know, it was a legendary space for us, man. And you know, you can't miss the camaraderie. You can't replace the camaraderie, and you can't replace the energy that was always there when you were there. Like, you had to be on top of your game because you didn't know who was coming in, who was sitting in, who was going to hear what you was doing. So it always made you want to be on top of your game. Okay,
that's what's up.
So, yeah, where is that located?
It was located in Durham, North Carolina. I mean, it moved to a couple different spots within Durham, but it was always located in Durham.
Okay, is that where are you from, North Carolina?
No, I'm actually from Northern Virginia.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I came down to North Carolina to go to college, and you know, I've been in I'm basically a North Carolinian at this point in my life.
Oh, okay. You're a Tar Heel.
Yeah, 18 years in Virginia, 20 years, going on 21 years in North Carolina at this point. So, yeah.
Okay, that's what's up, man. And I got two questions from my man. Shout out to my man Michael. I see you looking, Craig, on Facebook. He wanted to ask a question. He's got two questions. Now, this first question is going to open up a big old tornado of conversation around this piece, man, because it always gets heated. Okay, now, what my man wanted to know is, how did it feel to work with Lil Wayne?
Well, we didn't actually work with Lil Wayne on, like, we wasn't in the same studio.
Okay. Y'all just sent them the Pro Tools or whatever?
Yeah, so the story how that came, you know, I'll tell the story real quick.
Okay.
2006, Houston, it was All-Star Weekend, and we were down there for All-Star Weekend. Nike had brought us in for the week. And Kay and myself, we were going to do a radio interview on the radio station. I think it was The Box or something like that down in Houston. And it was like they were running artists in and out. And like I ended up meeting Russell Simmons at the time. And the person who was on the air before me and Tay went on air was Lil Wayne. So Lil Wayne came off. He came off air, and we fans of Lil Wayne, so I wanted to go say what's up. So we catch him down the hallway, like, yo, just want to say what's up to Wayne, before he peace out. And Wayne turned around and he like, oh shit, little brother, like, cause he shouted us out when he was on the radio, like before we came up. So he was like, oh, what's good, fellas? You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan, whatever have you. And it also was the first time that we met Currency. Currency was with him at the time.
Yeah. Okay.
And didn't know
another one that's real consistent too, though. By the way.
Yeah, Currency actually the one who put Lil Wayne on to us.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
So we met him or whatever, and realized he was the fan. And so when we started recording Get Back, that particular track, I remember I was in Vegas, and Kay hit me, and we was talking about that track, and he was like, man, do you hear somebody on it? And thought, I was like, man, I hear Wayne on this one. And so I reached out to my man Mick Boogie. He now go by Mick.
Right.
But DJ Mick Boogie, I reached out to him and was like, yo, I need Wayne's contact. I want to ask him to jump on the joint. He sent it right to me. I text Wayne, was like, yo, this Rapper Pooh from Little Brother. We got this joint, we want you on the album. And he was like, he was actually coming to town, like swinging through town on tour. He was like, yo, I'll see if I can come do it later, but if not, send it to me, I'll knock it out in a week. And so he didn't come later. I sent it to him within like a week. I had the Pro Tools session, the verse, everything back in my email. And I tell people to this day, man, like, I always have the utmost respect for Wayne. This is where he was the hottest cat in the game at the time.
Right.
For him to be a man of his word, I've had some people, I'm not going to say their names, but I've had some people who's nowhere near that level, fake the funk on the verse, or stall you out for months and months on end till you just be like, forget it. And this guy who was at the top of his game was a man of his word. It wasn't about, yo, I need X amount of dollars. It was, send it to me. I get it done. He got it done, sent it back, and it is. That's how the Wayne thing came about.
That's dope. That's dope. So is it safe to say that you think Lil Wayne is a very dope MC? Is it safe to say that, Rapper Big Pooh?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, I mean, these later Wayne years haven't been the same as his peak Wayne years, but
right.
I definitely, between the Carter 1 and the Carter 3, probably, Carter 4 started to go the other way, but between Carter 1, Carter 3, like, he was damn near untouchable.
Right.
Like,
I thought he was whack, personally. But I'm just saying.
Hey, to each their own. But
there you go. Hey, my man, you understand me.
But
yeah, between Carter 1 and Carter 3, man, like Wayne was, he was just as hot as anybody out. So
I thought Pharrell Monch was better.
Was a fan. You thought who?
I thought Pharrell Monch was better.
I mean, Pharrell Monch is the supreme MC as well.
Supreme.
Can't deny.
Undeniable,
Yeah,
but so is Lil Wayne. So look, Robert Big Pooh, man, we argue about that.
Yeah,
we ain't gonna put you in our dirty laundry right now, man. We argue
about that all the time,
every time on this show, man. I just appreciate, number one, I appreciate that song on that album. That's one of my favorite.
Oh, it's a dope song, no doubt about it.
And number two, man, I just wanted to tell you, man, that we always say that Little Brother, y'all one of my favorite rap groups, man.
Hold on, Rain. Do I not say that all the time? No?
Yeah. And every episode we definitely say that y'all one of our favorite rap groups.
Well, I always say this, and I get a lot of controversy whenever I say this, and I'm not just saying this because you're on the show. I say, and this kind of like plays into like names. We all know Lil Brother. I mean, it takes a real hip hop nerd to even know who Lil Brother is, but we all know that. But I always say that Lil Brother could be ranked higher. They have a strong case to be ranked higher as one of the best groups of all time than the Wu-Tang Clan. I always say that.
The thing, I don't get into rankings and all that because first of all, music is subjective. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all about who's listening. But at the end of the day, you got to think about, which I understand is, a lot of things is based on popularity.
That is true.
At the time, we only had 2 videos. All the albums we only had, all the projects out, we only had 2 videos. So people, it's still to this day people who don't really know what we look like. They'll see me and they be like, man, I know you from somewhere. And
wow.
They really recognize my voice or end up seeing my Little Brother tattoo. They have no idea that it's me. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's still people who big fans and don't even really know what we look like. It's still, because we weren't out there visually.
Right.
And then of course we weren't as popular as some of these other people, and that's all it comes down to, man. So I mean, you can't go throughout the industry and find too many people who aren't familiar with who we are and what we've done and the path we set. And that's means something to me when you got, I never forget, I was in Houston and I went to a club to check out Bun B, and I ran into Cool and Dre. And in the club, Bun B went to introduce me, and he was like, Cool's like, nah, I know who this is. I'm a fan. Or, God rest his soul. One time, I went to Mac Miller crib, and I'm down there with, ASAP Yams, God rest his soul, and Ab Soul, and Smoke Dizza, and Sid from the internet, and
wow.
Mac Miller running around. Yo, this Big Pooh from Little Brother. Everybody, hey, nah, we know who he is. Like, and just
right.
So,
and that's how it be too, man.
Yeah, there's not many in the industry that aren't familiar with who we are and what we did. And so that I understand, like when it comes to straight fans or consumers,
Mm-hmm.
It's a popularity contest.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
If they didn't see you or hear you everywhere, then they feel that you aren't justified to be at a certain level when that's not really the way
it should be.
People inside the industry look at it.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
I mean, that's just what it is.
Right. I was talking to Elzai is a friend of mine, and I was talking to El one day, and he said that like he was basically saying the same thing. Like one time, Inspector Deck ran up on him like, dog, you know what I'm saying? I'm a fan. You know what I'm saying? Like people, he was saying the same thing. Like people in the industry, you know what I'm saying, know who he is. I want to say he even said Drake knew who he was. I mean, they all had the song together. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
So, but
crazy. I just ran into Inspector Deck a couple weeks ago down in Atlanta. The whole Wu-Tang did the A3C Fest, and Inspector Deck was a fan.
Right.
So I ended up chopping it up with him. So yeah, man. I mean, like I said, it's just one of them things where popularity contests went out with the average listener.
Right.
But people within the industry, they know what's up.
Right.
They know what's what.
And that's where the respect comes in at. You know what I'm saying?
Respect definitely comes from your peers.
From your peers. I got one more question from my man. Shout out to my man Michael. I see you looking, Craig. And I think this is a question that me, him, and my brother here want to ask. And it's like, well, shit. And his question is, do you feel Little Brother is underrated? And I think you probably pretty much just answered that. But his question is, and I think, like I said, we all want to know this one. Do you feel Little Brother is underrated? I feel so drastically.
I do.
Like I just said, I think you all could be rated. And this is just me personally. I think you all could be ranked higher than, let's just say, the Woo. And I love the Woo, but I think you all could be ranked higher than the Woo as far as like greatest groups of all time. You definitely have a case to be top 5, I think.
For sure.
But do you think Little Brother is underrated? I think you just pretty much answered it, but do you think so?
Yeah. I mean, I do. I mean, but like we just discussed, man, it comes down to being a popularity contest. But I definitely think, we underrate. Our influence is definitely underrated. We influence the whole crop of cats that people stand for today. Drake's, Kendrick Lamar, even the Big Sean, J. Cole, you know what I'm saying? So all these cats that people love and, multi-platinum artists.
They love y'all.
They love us. So, more than anything, I feel that, our influence is definitely underrated and under-talked about, regardless of how you feel about us as a group. The influence is undeniable.
Right. Now, what would you say? Who would you say who influenced Little Brother? Who would you say?
They Live, Tribe, Jungle Brothers, Prince Paul, Outkast, EPMD, Ghetto Boys. Let's go on and on.
Yeah,
man.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what's up, though. So I got a question, Pooh. Where did you meet up with or get up with Ninth Wonder, man? Because personally, I think that Ninth Wonder is one of my favorite producers of all time. How y'all link up?
Man, to this day, I'm not even gonna lie. Neither one of us can really tell you that exact moment. I can tell you the exact moment I met Phonte, but I can't tell you the exact moment I met Ninth.
That's good. We'll take that one.
It was just one of them things where we rolled. We knew some of the same people and ended up in some of the same circles. It was my freshman year in college. It was his first year coming back to North Carolina Central, and just knowing some of the same people, and we ended up connecting like that. But I don't know the exact moment. Like, that's the crazy thing. Like,
okay,
I can't pinpoint the exact moment.
Okay, now here come the hard question. What's up with, man? Hip hop desperately needs an LB reunion. All 3 members, Ninth, Phonte, and Rapper Big Pooh. We need that, man. What's up with it?
people say they need a lot of things that they don't really need, but
we need that. We need that. Come on, man.
It's the thing, man. I mean, even at this point in our lives, man, we just, we did the one show, and I know a lot of people thought it was like some type of master plan, but there was no master plan. Like I live 2.5 hours away from Durham now. I live in Charlotte, and I was down here at my house. I got a call one random Saturday about Royce couldn't make it to a show, and the guy asked Tay to fill in, and Tay said this would be a good time to pop up on people with some little brother, because up until that time we hadn't discussed anything. Like we had been, that's another thing I want to address, on this podcast. I haven't talked about it, but it's funny. A lot of people always hit us, tag on three of us on Instagram or Twitter or whatever, and like, y'all need to set y'all differences aside, do some whoop. And the reality is, bro, like, we've been all cool with each other for years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, our personal relationship meant more to us than, a musical relationship. So we all been working on building that brotherhood bond back to where it needed to be. So, just for people that are listening to this, and if you one of them people that type that, we laugh at you in our conversation.
Wow. Man, like, back to the story though, it wasn't no grand scheme, man. That was just really a last minute. Like, I had to drive 2.5 hours to the place to do a show with my brothers, and we all three of us hadn't been on stage together since 2005, and
wow.
It was a moment in time, and and then from there, that forced us to start having conversations about, things that we wanted to do or possibly could do or whatever. And we don't know yet, man. But once we figure it out, we'll let y'all know. But
yeah, definitely.
Like I said, it wasn't no grand plan, man. That was a once in a lifetime opportunity that,
man, because I saw that video. I saw that video.
Man, if you was there, you was there, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of I got friends that live right in that city that I didn't even have time to tell them or nothing. Like they found out like y'all found out.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, man.
They saw the video.
Yeah, man, because some people thought it was actually like a tour. It was like, oh shit, little brother got back together. They about to do a tour. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh shit. So I'm searching on Ticketmaster for tickets to see when y'all coming to Detroit or whatever. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing. So it was just a one show deal.
Yeah, man. I came back home the next day and got back into to try and finish up my project and manage my artists, man. I came back to that.
Right.
Like,
okay, so what was the reason for the split up?
If you don't mind,
if you don't mind, if we cut too deep, just let us know.
I mean, you can ask, like I told you, man. Listen. I don't dictate. You do your job, I do mine. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I don't dictate what you're gonna ask. You can ask whatever you want. But the reason, like I tell everybody, I know a lot of people, not saying specifically, but I know a lot of people be looking for, the juicy gossip, the dirty details.
Right.
Those are things people will never get.
Okay.
That's family business. That's stay in the house. You know what I mean?
I got you.
But in the grand scheme of it was, us just growing and going different ways artistically and creatively, and really, really not understanding at the time how to communicate the changes that was happening, amongst us individually. And that led to, like most people, that led to ego and pride taking over. And when those things come into the party, it's gonna be some shit. So so that's, like I said, in the grand scheme, that's all it was, man. It's us really being men and growing and maturing on our own to come back and understand what the problems were, and you know, to have real serious man conversations about it and move forward. And that's, you know, eventually, you know, that's what we chose.
Okay.
So, man, I just listened to the new joint, man, the RPM.
The RPM joint.
It's hot, man.
Dope joint.
It's really dope, man. Who done the production on that joint?
Was this just a one producer, one rapper album? Like say like Words and Pictures? Okay, who you got on there?
Focus 3 Dots did it, man. For those that don't know, man, Focus is you know, very talented, two-time Grammy Award winning producer. You know, he's produced on Beyonce albums, 112 albums, Christina Aguilera album, Game album. He co-produced on the Compton album with Dr. Dre. He's been working with Dr. Dre for years. You know, his father was Bernard Edwards, that played in Sheep with
Nile Rodgers. With Nile Rodgers and all of them? Wow. Man, that's crazy.
That was his dad who played bass, you know.
So that's him on the Good Times bass there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's crazy. And all the other chic hits, shout out to Nile Rodgers and Chic.
That's
Damn.
That bass, man.
Wow.
Yeah, man. So, like, I mean, we've had a relationship since, like, 06, man. And around 2013, 2014, you know, I was taking trips to L.A. and because he was back and forth between L.A. and Atlanta working with Dre. And he was like, yo, man, let's do a project. And I was like, I'm with it. And we just never, you know, at the time we kind of got started, but we didn't. And then I was up there heavy during the Compton sessions. We always talked about doing a project, but you know, we had to wait until, you know, that project was finished. You know, I knew they was working on it, but nobody else did because I was in and out of there. But
right.
It was like it was one of them things. It was like, yo, when we finished with this, we started. And so once they finally finished, and you know, a couple other things happened, we finally decided to lock in. And once we locked in, we locked in.
Wow.
And we just went to work. And it was one of them things for me. Like at the time, also I needed that break. Like put out the record with Knox and the record with Apollo Brown in 2015.
I own them all.
And then I ended up putting out a little, like a 4 or 5 song EP, like right before I went on tour with the Beat Nuts.
Oh, and now that I don't have.
It's called For Sale.
I got that one. Yeah, I got that one. Yeah, I got that one. Yeah, I got that.
I put that out. Just, you know, that was for, you know, my DJ, DJ Flash. He DJ for Little Brother. I did that more so for him at the time, just because he had been working on beats for a few years, and you know, he didn't believe how dope he was. So like, I'm gonna show you how dope you are. Like, I surprised him with the EP. He didn't even know I was doing it.
Wow,
man.
And so
'cause you stay working, man.
Yeah, man. So after that, I just took a couple years, man. I stepped back.
I remember that announcement too.
Yeah, I had to get inspired again, man. You know, I started working with these young cats, started managing, and so I just started concentrating on that. And probably about this time last year, me and Focus really got back to work and started getting busy.
Okay.
And it took us a little while. You know, we had some starts and stops because of his work schedule, my work schedule, but we finally got it together. RPM, here we are.
Yeah, shit is hot. Yo, man, I wanted to ask you, man. You know, you said some of the groups that influenced Little Brother, but who are some of the solo MCs that influenced you, you know, in your rhyme style and all that kind of stuff, man? Because I think you got a dope rhyme style, man. So who influenced you?
My big influences, man, were like early Ice Cube.
Yeah, I can hear that. I hear that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Nas was the big. You know, I was definitely inspired by Nas, man. Those were probably my 2 biggest influences. Who I saw myself being more like than others. You know, like, I'm a big Jay-Z fan. I'm a big Biggie fan, but I don't see myself being what they are. Like, I saw myself being able to, you know, I could emulate a Nas. I could emulate a Cube. And those are the two that I kind of really like saw my like just listen to. I call it homework. Like I listened to a lot of Nas, a lot of Cube, and tried to do what they did, and then also Outkast, ATL specifically.
Right. Woo, man.
I listen to that album a lot. That's my favorite Outkast album. So, but I mean, my inspirations draw from different artists, different genres, and things of that nature. But as far as hip hop is concerned, those are my main influences.
Okay. Now, how'd you come up with the concept of Fat Boy Fresh? You got like what, 3 parts of that? Now, Now, what was the concept behind calling it the series Fat Boy Fresh? Because I seen you like on the cover with like the old school Dookie chains and all that shit right there. So, how'd you come up with the concept of the Fat Boy Fresh?
My manager and business partner Doe actually came up with that. He used to always say, I'm not into fashion, none of that. Like, I dress basic, man. I'm a basic dresser. But he's from Connecticut, so he right outside of New York. One up guy, they all about being fresh, and so that's him. And so he used to always say, when we be out, he's like, yeah, man, don't think just because we big, we can't be fresh. We can't, this fat boy fresh. And so he used to always say that. I just ran with it, like I just did and ran with it, man. And even though I'm not, fresh as far as fashion is concerned, like I don't concern myself with that. Like I always thought I was fresh as far as making music is concerned.
Right,
so
right.
I just turned it into that, and I did the volumes, man. And that was me more just kind of. I always consider that like that was me trying different things.
Right, right.
Like, just being able to go in and record, and for the most part, not really record with no specific goal in mind. Like, just have fun, just get back to having fun. And that's kind of what the Fat Boy Fresh series represented for me.
Right. And on the first Fat Boy Fresh album, you featured T3 from Slum Village and a not so popular at that time K. Dot, a.k.a. Kendrick Lamar. Now, how did that come about?
Around it was 2008, 2009. It was right when MySpace
was just booming,
becoming unpopular. The boom was over.
No, the boom was they were fading out, and Facebook was picking up.
Yeah. So they were fading out, and but like we used to on our little brother page, we used to get a lot of inboxes, and I was the guy that always answered the inboxes. Like they didn't bother themselves with the inboxes. So I was just going through it one time. I see an inbox from a cat named DJ Day, and from LA. He's like, "Yo, we got this artist named J Rock. We big fans, and J Rock signed to Warner Brothers, and we want to do something with y'all." So I said, "Let me go look." And I saw a video, and I was like, "Oh, I like this. I like a lot of West Coast stuff. I like this." So I ended up hitting, Cat Dave back, and we talked. Ended up getting on the phone with J Rock, and me and my manager, business partner Doe, we were going to LA a lot, so we took a flight out. Said, "Yo, we want to come meet up." So they gave us this address in Carson. Like now, we don't know these people; they don't know us. Get this address to this place in Carson, and we go. And first they was like, "Damn, y'all actually came," and we was like, "Yeah, why we shouldn't have came?" Like, and
right.
just like most people be like, meet us in Hollywood at the studio, but y'all actually came to
the hood,
to our hood or whatever. And so we go in. It's the house Top Dog had. He had the studio, the red room in the back of the crib, and we go, and I'm going to meet J Rock, and I end up meeting a young K Dot at the time, and hear about Ab Soul. I didn't meet him; he wasn't there. I met Soundwave at the time, and a young Ali, mixed by Ali. So I'm meeting all these guys, and we talking, and and I was a real big Ab-Soul fan when he was letting me hear. And so when I got home, I got the track from Young RJ. He did the track that they on.
Shout out Detroit Stand Up.
Yeah, we was actually working on a project at the time, and so he gave me that beat, and I reached out to Dave, and I was like, yo, let me get I want Ab-Soul on it. He was like, all right, cool. He sent it back a couple of days later. Was like, I hope you don't mind, but everybody jumped on it. And I was like, well, let me hear it. I heard it. I was like, hell no, I don't mind. Like,
right.
Let's go. And so that ended up turning into me doing the song for Regular Nigga for Ab-Soul, and then me and K-Dot doing Thanksgiving. And then me and Ab-Soul did another joint. I can't remember the name of it. And then me and then I got Kendrick and Ab-Soul to do a joint, Rapper Big Pooh on shit, what was that on? I don't even know what that was on, but I got them to do that joint. And so, like I said, man, it was just one of the things where we had to work a relationship. I mean, even to this day, like, you know, obviously he's one of the biggest artists in the world, so it's not like I'm calling getting features, but, you know, every time we see each other or talk or whatever, you know, it's all love. You know what I mean? And, you know, me and Dave, who's Dave Free, President TDE, one of the presidents of TDE, we still keep in touch. And, you know, it's all love whenever I see any Schoolboy. He came along later.
Right.
Rock, Soul, Kendrick, you know, Punch, Free CD. So it's all love, man. And, you know, I always appreciated them guys because they always worked hard. Like,
right.
That was their thing. They always worked hard. That was one of the rules when you ever went into that Red Room studio. It was on the wall. Like,
right.
We worked. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they always work, man. And I'm not surprised by any of what's going on with them right now.
Okay.
Yo, man, I got a question, man. So I see that you guys had a lot of ties with a slum village from Detroit, right here in the Motor City. Elzai, T3. It seemed like the comparison was always Little Brother or Slum. You know what I'm saying?
I see that all the time.
It was like a low-key rivalry. I don't know if y'all knew that, but
no, it was. I know exactly. I always see. You know, people always ask that question. What albums? And I always see the two albums, The Listening and Fantastic Volume 2. What album is better? I see that on the internet all the time. I don't know if you see that, Pooh, but I guess what my bro is saying is. Was there kind of like a low key rivalry between Slum and LB?
Nah, man, it was all love between us, man. Like, you know, at the time, like, I only ended up beating, you know, Dilla once. This was during the J-Lib days. We did the first Rock the Bells in Anaheim, and they were on stage. Like, their trailer was next to ours.
Right.
They were on stage, and Madlib was actually back there DJing, and Dilla was, you know, out front rapping, and Dilla saw me on the side in the middle of his set and came and backed me up, which is crazy. You know, a lot of people, you know, some people know, some people don't, but we were actually on our Mr. Show albums, joined with Elzai. We were trying to get Dilla on there. Like, me and Dilla supposed to have been trading versus like Elzai and Phonte did, but that didn't end up working out. That's why I shout his name out. In the beginning.
I was wondering, did he do that beat? But go ahead.
Nah, Knife did that beat. Knife actually was in the house today. Knife actually did the beat. The funny thing. He did that beat at his crib. I had to beat it that day. Like, I was adamant that beat got on the album because I loved it so much. But so we at the Rock the Bells joint, we actually ended up playing the record for them. Because we were still trying to hope he could, you know, jump on the joint, but that never happened. But so that was all love, man. You know, it's always been love, man. Like, at the end of the day, like, there was no, you know, no competition amongst us. I mean, it's always competition, but it wasn't like no rivalry type of thing.
Right.
It was just all love, and then, you know, I spent a lot of time working with T3 and Young J and Illa, you know, doing the Slum, the Dirty Slum project and things of that nature. And, you know, me and Young J, we would talk. We would in the midst of doing a project at one time, and you know, so it's just always been love, man, between us, and you know, for me, a nice working relationship. Like I work for the most out of all of us, but I mean, like I said, it wasn't really no rivalry thing with us. It was just, you know, we came after them, we fans of theirs. You know, they were fans of ours. That was that.
Yeah, that's dope. So, I gotta ask you, man. Like, out of all the LB albums, man, which one was your favorite one? Me personally, I like the earlier stuff better. I like all of them, to be honest with you. But what I like better is the earlier stuff, like the Chitlin Circuit.
Chitlin Circuit, nigga.
Yeah, the both of them joints. But what's your favorite LB joint?
My favorite LB album is probably Get Back, man.
Okay.
And for me, I mean, what a lot of people gotta understand about me personally is that my later stuff tends to always be my most favorite because that's me at my best, I feel. You know what I mean? Like, I listen to the earlier projects and, you know, they represent something to me, something special. But listening to them, I hear mostly mistakes.
Gotcha.
I hear imperfections personally. So with Get Back, I think that album ended up being my favorite because that was me. That was a fully confident me. Like that was me really, really in my bag, as the young people say. And I was fully confident in that whole project. Like, and I was out to really, 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 really prove myself that project. So, and that was the first. That was the first project, obviously, that didn't feature, you know, mostly Ninth production. And it kind of, for me, it kind of opened up kind of some of the things where I was going musically. Like, it allowed me to really get into, you know, some of the vibes that I was feeling musically. And because the project ended up being opened up like it was. So that's probably my favorite project, my favorite LB project.
Okay. And then let's see, a lot of people, we had Master Ace on here about a month ago, and he said, man, it's something about Detroit, man. It's something in that water out there, because obviously, yeah, we got a lot of talent here, and you just mentioned you've done some things with L, Young RJ, T3. What was it like working with Apollo Brown for Words Paint Pictures?
Man, it was easy, man. Like, the crazy thing is that wasn't even supposed to have been an all Apollo EP.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I had signed on to do the Knots album and then an EP using producers from Mello. And the first person I got beats from was Apollo, which was, I wasn't surprised because me and Apollo had joked about doing a project like a couple years earlier.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And so I got the few joints, and I think I recorded 2 of them. And I ended up going up to New York with him and Razzcats had an album release party for their project. And they had me, I came out, and we were downstairs, and I let Apollo hear the 2 joints I had. He was just like, yo, what you think about me just doing the whole EP? And I was like, shit, talk to, you know, guy over at Mello. He's like, oh, don't worry about that. I'm going to send you some more beats. And he was just sending me beats, and once I figured out where I wanted to go, one of the joints we didn't end up putting on there, we put on his, we put on the album, the Mello Music album.
The Mello Music Group.
Yeah, because once I figured out the tone and I direction I wanted to go for the album, that first track I recorded didn't fit. But yeah, it was just easy, man. I ended up coming to Detroit for a couple of days. We shot the video. Did a little, you know, I was there for a couple of the mixing sessions and, you know, did a photo shoot. But it was easy, man. Like, you know, that's the thing with Apollo. Like, I trust him to do what he gonna do top notch. He trusts me what I'm gonna do top notch, and we just get to work. And I was honored. You know, he made sure that when him and Razzcats setting up the European tour, he made sure that I was included. And so we went out to do that. he DJ'd for me on the tour. And, you know, it was all love, man. We go out and take care of business, man. We professional.
Right. Yeah, because like I said, man, I like damn near every Rapper Big Pooh project. I wouldn't say damn near, I like them all. Even the Christmas album that you had. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so the Christmas album had a couple of choices. So it's only like 4 songs, but yeah, the Worst Paint Pictures, the whole Happy Birthday Thomas series, the Fat Boy Fresh series. You know what I'm saying? I like them all, man. But you had a question, Coach?
Yeah. So you out there in North Carolina, and that's where Rhapsody from?
Yeah.
So
man,
that to me, I'm gonna be honest with you. To me, she the dopest. She one of the dopest MCs out here.
You know what I'm saying? Not just females MCs. She's just one of the dopest MCs. Period. Now.
Y'all gonna work together on some shit new?
I don't know, man. I mean, you know, I definitely, respect her grind, and you know, she definitely worked hard, and you know, I remember her, not her very beginnings, but some, you know, her relative beginnings, and see how hard she worked, you know, to get where she at, and you know, I definitely respect it, and you know, I wish her nothing but the best. But I mean, it hasn't been a conversation of where, you know, we talked about working or any of that. Like, it's, you know, it's just never come up. It's not thinking like, oh, I never work with her or whatever. It just never came up. But,
that gotta
you
come
know.
up.
Yeah.
That gotta be.
We gotta work on that. We gotta make that happen.
Because both of y'all, man, y'all make some good music.
No,
man.
we need to make this LB reunion happen too. I'm gonna keep saying it, damn it. Yeah, we need to make this LB reunion happen, man. We need y'all. I just real quick on the side note, I got hoodwinked and bamboozled today on Facebook, thinking that this white girl was Eminem's daughter spitting these bars, and man, somebody said that's not his daughter. I got hoodwinked and bamboozled, spitting. When she said some shit about this is like red and green, like Midnight Marauders, and I'm like, oh shit.
A white girl.
White girl. Somebody said that this was Eminem's daughter. I got hoodwinked and bamboozled. I said we need to have clickbait like a mother. She was dope though, but I'm like, we need her and Rhapsody on this shit on the track ASAP. But more than that, we need a Phonte and Rapper Big Pooh and Knife One.
Let them work out their differences.
I'm gonna let them. Damn it, we need them.
Yeah, we need them.
Hip hop needs them.
Man. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Y'all, right along with Mobb Deep, for me, right along with the Clips, right along with the
for
Locks,
me too. Shit, right along with
Outkast,
Daylight, right along with Tribe,
y'all right Slum,
the Woo, all that.
I mean, god damn, man, y'all put out some magical music.
I say, man, this is probably I said this before. I ain't trying to sound like no dick rider or no shit like that. But this is probably the only group that's batting 1,000.
Yeah.
I mean, and,
when you really think about it.
If you really think about it, and hold on, and I'm thinking about it like this: all the LP joints, all the LB joints, all of his solo joints, and then Phonte solo joints, and the stuff that Phonte did with Foreign Exchange. It's really nothing out there that's garbage or that's whack or even so.
It's not.
That's like the only camp that's kind of like batting 1,000.
Well, me personally,
even outside of the group stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I would prefer Phonte to rap versus him singing.
I
mean, I like him singing, but I prefer him to rap.
Hey, hold on. This is a Big Pooh interview though.
I'm just saying.
But I mean, we don't want to get too far off of the Phonte.
I mean, but you know.
Yeah, hey, right.
That's how I feel about when Drake sings.
Hey, man.
Stop all that goddamn singing.
A lot of people, you know, obviously prefer to hear him rap. But,
right.
You know,
thank you, brother.
Like I tell people, you know, when they ask me, I say, listen, man. The thing about not just him, but just any artist is you gotta allow the artist to be, you know, to express themselves creatively.
Right. And I'm with that.
And as long as it's dope, at the end of the day, it shouldn't be no complaint.
Right. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem as long as he can pull it off.
Yeah. Would I rather hear Andre 3000 rapper sing? I'd rather hear him rap. But
yeah.
you know, I can't deny the the hit, the Phonte that was
The artistry.
you know, his the artistry of
The
his
Love
side
Below.
of the Eagle Box of Love Below. Like, I can't deny what it was. Like,
Right.
So as long as it's dope, then you know
I'm with it.
I'm all for artists being able to, you know, express themselves creatively however they feel they need to. And I mean, I remember I asked him one time, you know, why, you know, obviously I knew he could sing, but why he, you know, felt he needed to, you know, do singing albums or whatever. And he told me something that I never thought about, and it didn't hit me till later as I really became, you know, really focused on being a better songwriter. And that was, he said, man, it's things I can express singing, writing a song where I'm singing that I can't necessarily do when I'm rapping.
Oh,
It's
okay.
true.
Right. Which makes
Like,
sense.
It's all true. And another thing people don't know about Phonte is how eclectic his musical taste is. Like, he definitely opened up my world to a lot of things that I would have never been exposed to. He has a very eclectic musical ear, man. He's a musical nerd. If
Right.
there ever was one, he is definitely one. And so his influences range wide, and you're getting a taste of some of his musical influences when you hear him do other things. And, you know, that's just who he is. Like, I mean, people, the first time you heard him was him rapping, so
Right.
that's obviously what people gravitate to.
Right.
But his creative, you know, influences range far and wide, and he, you know, he makes sure he goes out and express that. And like I said, the bottom line is some things you can express singing that you can't necessarily do rapping, and vice versa. So
Yeah, man, and
that's where we at.
and that's classy of you, man, to get on here and speak on it without throwing shade or without, you know what I'm saying, bashing, you know what I'm saying.
Man, they brothers, man. They gonna work it out.
Yeah, they gonna work it out because they gonna get this new LB album popping,
Sooner or later.
and sooner or later,
about
and
2
save
years.
it and come back and save hip hop for real.
And then we gonna be the first one to break the news.
Yeah, we gonna, and they coming
Yes.
back to do the interview right here first.
Yes, that's exactly right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is, though.
So I got another question, man. So you know, it's always this conversation in hip hop about, you know, the lanes of hip hop. So you got, you know, your trap music, you got your down south music, you got your backpack music. Do you consider yourself like a backpack artist, or do you just say I'm a hip hop artist? You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, a lot of people.
I'm a hip hop artist, man.
There you go.
Like,
Okay.
and I can, you know, the funny thing is, I choose not to, because that's just not where I am. But I can rap over anything if I wanted to, and it can be dope.
Gotcha.
I just don't.
Hey, and it shows, like I said, anybody that follows your career notice that, like, each album production wise sounds different. Like the Dirty Pretty Things album production and the Words Paint Picture album production sounds totally different. They're night and day. Nothing alike. You know what I'm saying? And then you got the RPM album.
That's dope.
That sounds like nothing that you've done before. And then, like I said, the Happy Birthday Thomas joint, that sounds like nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, and I could definitely agree with you on that. Like, you can pretty much rap on anything. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I just go with what, you know, sounds. You know, I go with the moment I'm trying to keep at the time, and that's what I gravitate to. But I mean, I only see music in two categories, man, and that's dope music and that's not dope music. Those are the two categories I see. I don't care if you rap over trap, drill, boom bap,
Right.
you know, luxury sounds, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. It's dope or it's not dope.
Right.
And I'll talk about what's dope, and you'll know what I don't think is dope if you never hear me talk about it.
right.
Like, dope to me, and that's to my ear. Like,
Right.
I had to recognize that, you know, as I stepped into the management world, like, I had to figure out why certain things worked the way they did. Like, because I don't necessarily like it doesn't mean that it's not good, because it's good to somebody.
There you go.
But I had to figure out why certain things worked the way they did, or why people listen to certain artists and certain songs. So I definitely developed a different appreciation. Now, when you start talking about things like who's the best rapper or lyrics, things like that, then we can have a discussion about that.
Right.
As far as what's good and what's not good, like I don't get into them discussions with people, because once again, music is subjective. Like, the one thing you can't argue is who actually can rap and who can't. But to say, oh, that Juice WRLD song is trash, when it's obviously millions of people who love it, it's not trash. It just ain't for me. Like, it's like, yo, I listen to it, I can see why it works, but it just ain't for me. It ain't trash. Just like some people may listen to, album of mine or somebody like that, or be like, oh, that's just trash. And you're like, nah, bro, it ain't trash. It just ain't for you. You know what I mean? So that's how I view, try to view music through that lens, man.
That's how everybody in the world view music, except for this nigga right here.
Nah, I don't view it that way.
This nigga think everything is trash.
No, I
don't.
If
it's not boom bap, it's trash in his eyes.
That's totally not
Period.
true. That's totally not true. Because I believe in, there is like you said, I don't mind, different styles. It's just that you got to be dope within the style. It's just that, and I believe in standards. Now, let me give you an example.
Oh shit.
Let me give you an example.
Here we go.
I'm about to give you an example of another subjective art, and that's dance. Okay.
Dance.
Okay. Dance is subjective. Would you agree, Big Pooh?
That's a yes or no, because dance is definitely, there's some technicalities to dance. It's
right. But it is a subjective art,
what
right?
they are, you don't.
Right.
It's definitely subjective.
Is it
right.
okay? Now, you familiar with Dance Theater Harlem and those different types of productions? You see what I'm saying?
You're always trying to flip some shit. Go ahead.
I'm not flipping shit.
Go ahead.
This is for real. My whole thing is this. In order for you to get on that stage on a Dance Theater Harlem production or an Alvin Ailey production, you're not going to get on that stage if you dance like Cookie Head Jenkins or Jerry Curl.
On Hollywood Shuffle?
Yeah, you're not going to get on that stage if you looking like Cookie Head Jenkins.
That shit is funny.
Cookie Head Jenkins and Jerry. Who killed Cookie Head and Jerry Curl? You're not going to be on that stage.
Well,
so I think this is how I feel. I think we in hip hop, we allow a lot of Cookie Head Jenkins type talent. And there's really no standard. So it's not about, I understand the whole thing about different styles. And, what I'm saying, it's cool to have different styles, but just be dope within your style. You see what I'm saying? I think
this is the thing. I hear what you're saying, but this is the thing. This is the big difference.
Mm-hmm.
One, the internet eliminated gatekeepers to an extent.
That makes all the difference right there too.
The internet allowed direct to consumer interaction. So you don't need a label, you don't need a publication, you don't need the radio, you don't need a lot of things that artists in the 90s or even the early 2000s needed to be successful. You don't need those at this day and time.
There you go.
So with eliminating them gatekeepers, you also eliminated quality control. You're right about that. You eliminated quality control.
Exactly.
So now it has become, and the numbers tell it for the most part, music, especially urban music, has become niche market. So it's people finding people who like whatever music it is or whatever movement it is, and that's who it is. I don't trip too much about it because the market, it's a free market. And then of course you have the major corporations who see you gotta understand how they work. They're not looking for long term. They're looking for the quick cash. They're looking for the lotto ticket.
Right.
So a lot of these cats may pop up with something, and it may go dumb, in 2018. But you won't hear from them again.
Right.
They gone.
Right, they gone. Here today, gone tomorrow. You got a lot of these flashes in the pan. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of them.
Yeah, a lot.
Because they can't.
I agree with that.
They didn't build. They didn't build to sustain. That's not what they did. They looked to hit the lotto, and you know what they say about hitting the lotto. What's your chances of hitting it once, let alone twice?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, twice, let alone once. So it's like that's what a lot of these cats their careers end up being like hitting the lotto, where you have those that actually sustain and build. You can recognize those talents. You see them building. Whether you like the music or not, you see the building from the ground floor up. You don't see it's not a flash in the pan thing. So I let the market take care of what it's gonna take care of, man. Just, you know, I tell young cats all the time when I'm, you know, advising or, you know, mentoring, whatever, and I just tell them, like, look, man, you got a couple choices, man, but I always suggest you go find who it is that rock with you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You go where you love. Go where you want it.
Right.
And you'll be better off. You'll have a lot longer career than a lot of cats, you know, out here, because you're doing what you want to do, what you love to do. You're making the type of music you want to make. And at the end of the day, that's gonna resonate with somebody. It may resonate with a lot of somebody. You don't control that at the end of the day.
Right.
So touch the people, and the people gonna repay you for it. And you know, that's what you got to do. And I mean, that's the beauty of LB. Like, we wasn't big visually, we wasn't the most popular, but what we did resonated with so many different people across so many different facets of life.
Yeah.
That now we have these, you know, like yourself and your brother, and y'all like, yo, you know, hip hop needs this, we need that. And you go look at the numbers. The numbers don't say what y'all talking about.
Right.
But
the numbers say the Migos is the best group right now.
Right, but we touch people, you know, we touch a lot of people to where a lot of people feel the same way y'all feel, and they want the same thing y'all want, because we resonated with the people on an emotional level, and that's all this thing is about, man. Like, you know, I like I say, I don't spend too much time talking about cats that I don't listen to, or cats I don't like, or cats I think is garbage. Like, I don't shine light on those.
Right.
You know?
I got you.
I got you. I shine light on the cats that I actually want to see, you know, that I like, that's on a big platform, or more than that, I like to shine light on cats that may not be on a big platform, but need, you know, a little boost. And, you know, I definitely make sure people, as far as for me, people hear about these cats, man, because it may be something that they like.
Right, and you said the key words quality control is totally gone right now, and that's all and that's always kind of like been my gripe. You know what I'm saying? It's not just this old nigga just hating on the young niggas. It's not that simple. You know what I'm saying?
Young niggas that can rap.
Yeah,
a bunch of them.
Yeah. Dave East, shout out to Dave East, man.
I used to not like the fact that there was no quality control. I used to not like that, right?
It does.
But then I thought.
Go ahead.
I thought about something. So, who are then supposed to be people supposed to be the filters, right? And so you look at those people, then it's like, how easy can those people be influenced as well? And that's when I started to really appreciate it being no quality control. I started to really appreciate the fact, because it's like, most people can easily be influenced. Most people can easily be, you know, you can take them and be like, I give you, you know, 15 grand, you know, you don't slide my, I mean, they do it now anyway, but it's easier when it's easier to people that's going to make the decision on what the world hears and what the world doesn't. Those people can easily be influenced and manipulated. And by taking that out of the equation, it's survival of the fittest.
Right. Yeah, it's survival of the fittest.
Survival of the fittest.
Right.
And even though you're talented, you still may not be fit for this game.
Right.
Because it is a game.
Right.
It's business of music. So, you know, like I said, man, I definitely I feel your point, and I see the point you were trying to make, and I used to think like that too. But as I started really digging deep into it, man, and realizing, like I said, I actually appreciate the no quality control a lot better now than I did, you know, 5 to 6 years ago.
But you're speaking as an artist in the industry. I'm speaking as a fan of the culture. So,
but this is directly affects you more than it affects me.
Right.
Because a lot of your favorite artists you may have never heard of before.
Yeah,
if it wasn't for the internet.
Right. Well. I mean, I'm a little pre-internet stage. Age. I'm in my 40s, so I'm like pre-internet when you had to go into a record store. Like I heard Mos Def. There was no internet when Mos Def first came out. You know what I'm saying?
You wouldn't have heard the Little Brother if it weren't for the internet.
No,
that's true.
I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you.
Me personally, my cousin. Shout out to my cousin Mark Chill. Put me up on Little Brother. Now, how he heard about it, I don't know. But he is down in South Carolina though.
No, this is what I mean though.
Okay.
The internet, how Little Brother was able to sign a deal with a record label out in California, which got the listening distributed around the world.
Because of the internet.
Because of the internet. Before that, we were about to put them out the trunk. They have never got further than Durham and Greensboro, North Carolina.
That may not necessarily be true.
That makes sense though. What
but
he's saying,
there is a guy named. I know. There's.
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know, but it's always possible. There's a guy named Mac Dre. There was a guy named Mac Dre
on the West Coast.
There was a guy named Mac Dre.
Yeah, no, definitely. But I mean, it was a culture that I was a culture.
Right.
So, but my point is, because of the internet, it accelerated what would have been.
Right.
We don't know what would have been without it, but because of the internet, it accelerated.
And you know what?
Trajectory.
The internet,
it's a great tool.
You use the tool, man.
We using it
for great product.
Hey, I hear what he's saying. If it wasn't for if there was a strict quality control on everything right now, then we wouldn't be doing this podcast right now because it'll be only limited to like people like Howard Stern and you know what I'm saying. So yeah, the internet is a great tool. I'm not denying what he's saying. I understand fully what he's saying. Yeah, it can help, but I think to his point though, you know, that just kind of like I don't want to say backfired, but it could be used for good or it could be used for bad. You know what I'm saying? It gives everybody it gives everybody a chance to blow.
It do.
You know what I'm saying?
You can't be mad at that.
Everybody gets to start at the same place.
Right.
Now, where you end up going, different circumstances work for that. But everybody starts at the same place. It's like you were saying, definitely some good and bad with that, but that's with anything. Like you gotta take the bad with the good, no matter if it was a quality control panel or we got this free market or whatever it is. Like it's gonna be some good, it's gonna be some bad.
Right.
It's never gonna be all good.
All good.
It's never gonna be all bad.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, this is my last question, man. Then, I don't know how many more he got.
Yeah, I got one more after Coach.
So, you said Jay-Z is one of your favorite rappers, correct?
Right.
So, did you hear him on the new Meek Mill album?
I have. I heard it, but I hadn't had a chance to really go through it yet. Man. But I have heard.
Man.
Like break it down. Like,
oh my God.
I haven't heard it yet. I'm gonna get into it later. I haven't heard it yet.
I'm gonna say this. It's one of his best verses.
I keep hearing about it. I haven't heard it yet. I've been on this Black Thought album all week.
Oh, that Black Thought album is cold.
People say it's one of his best verses. I don't think it's one of his best verses. I just think it's one of his best verses in a long time.
The content we talking about.
I know what people talk about, but this is the thing, like, you know, I mean, he definitely got some slick. He say some slick shit in there. I mean, that's this Jay-Z. This is what he does. But
Right.
what he's talking about for me is nothing that some of my favorite rappers ain't already talked about.
Right.
That's my thing. It's just people is in awe because it's Jay-Z talking about it now. But some of my favorite rappers have talked about some of this stuff already. Shit, you don't listen to any Jay Electronica verse, any of his 15 verses, you done heard him talk about some of this shit
Exactly.
already.
I just like the fact that he dissed 45. That's what I like. That's the only thing I like.
You know, I feel you.
Finish the point, Pooh.
So that's what I say. He got some slick stuff in there. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, but because Jay-Z, this is what he does. But I don't think it's one of his best verses. I just think it's one of his best verses in a long time. Because since the Black album, truthfully, you know, Jay-Z been on the decline.
Whoa.
Hey, preach it, brother. Preach it, brother.
Like he's been on the decline. Like he will forever be a great evidence. He's in my top 5, but
Legacy
Did you hear 444?
Hold on, Legacy already cemented.
I'm asking the question.
That's my
point. Did you hear 444?
Yeah. I've heard every Jay-Z album.
He was on fire on that 444. That 444, he was the best he ever been to me.
And
what y'all think?
I think that was his best album since the Black album.
It was, but
once again, that like you just said, that was his best album since Black album. But just like this verse, people are, because it's him speaking about certain things, people are in awe. But it's like cats I've listened to have always spoke about these.
Yeah, and I've said this too, Pooh. And I appreciate the 444 album, and I always ask Jay-Z fans this. Okay, yeah, the 444 album is dope. I appreciate what he's talking about, but where were you the year before when Common dropped that Black America Again album?
Right.
You know, or where were you? Where was all of this? Like you said,
right
when like you said, Jay Electronica.
We were right here.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm just but I'm just saying.
I'm a Jay-Z fan. I was right here.
Okay, but see.
No, I know. He's speaking in general.
Right, I'm speaking in general. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, people.
A lot of these people that are fans of Jay-Z now, I'm just gonna speak to God. A lot of these people that are Jay-Z fans now, not saying he didn't have a lot of fans before, because obviously he did, but they weren't. They have really gravitated towards Jay-Z because of Beyonce.
Ooh, because of the Bayhive?
You said what now?
The Bayhive?
I missed that.
The Bayhive, whatever.
I missed it.
That's just the reality. Like, real Jay-Z fans has been there since Reasonable Doubt.
Yeah. That's
they really ain't been checking for Jay-Z since Black Album Kingdom Come time. They kind of like, okay, Jay with another, okay, okay, whatever.
What came on that? Hold on, let's do some research here. What came on after Black Album?
The Kingdom Come album.
Kingdom Come, then American Gangster.
American Gangster was dope.
The Watch the Throne.
Hold up, American Gangster was dope.
It wasn't.
Why people keep saying like washing over that album.
Okay, really I thought it had some good joints. But it wasn't like
you did a remix album to that, man.
I didn't do the whole album. I just did a few joints. I thought my beats were better personally. I was just saying. But I mean, that's just me though. You know what I'm saying? But
shout out to DJ Q making these beats.
Yeah, I was on the beats heavy at that time. I wasn't working so much damn overtime on the real job. You know?
I think Jay-Z once Jay-Z got past the Black album, it's almost like because he knew he was one of the greatest.
He didn't have to
put out mediocre music on purpose.
Yes, he did. Not purposely, but just he didn't work as hard.
Not purposely. So he started doing things. He started doing things to almost like stay relevant.
Nah, I agree. God. Especially with the What's Name album.
If you were here, I'd give you a fist pound.
Hold up, one time though, on some real shit. Only album I gathered that from was on the what's the one? The Holy Grail.
The Magna Carta Holy Grail.
I hate that album. That's the one I thought he was trying to be relevant.
That album and Watch the Throne.
Terrible.
He jumped on Kanye wave on Watch the Throne.
He did.
Let's be realistic here. That was Kanye was
But
hotter
I
than
like
him.
that album though.
I thought it was.
We not talking about what you like, what you don't like.
Right.
We talking about what the reality is. Like Kanye was the hotter artist at the time of Watch the Throne.
He right.
So that was a wave ride.
But this is my thing, y'all.
Like,
Jay-Z, at this point in his career, can drop music like 444 and it would be just fine. He don't have to
Try to be relevant.
You know what I'm saying?
Not at this point,
Right.
no. Not at this point.
Like,
No.
he don't have to.
Honestly, he didn't then. I don't think he needed to then. I mean, he did, so he did. But that's the thing for me. When I listen to Jay-Z, I always go check what he do because I'm a fan.
Right.
He's one of the one of the best in my eyes. But I call it fade to fade. You know what I'm saying? Like I look at it like this. How much replay does an album have? Like, do I go back and listen to it weeks later, months later, years later? And I don't go back and listen to no Jay-Z album after the Black album in 2018.
So you ain't listened to that Black album? I mean, I'm sorry, the 444.
I did, but I have not listened to it probably since the week after it came out.
Wow.
Man, I don't know about that one.
Wow. Hey, to be honest,
I'm just telling you, I do not go back and listen to because once again, I'm at the beginning. Jay-Z, well, not his very beginning with Jazzo, but I was there since Reasonable Doubt.
Right.
I would much rather go listen to Reasonable Doubt, Volume 2, Volume 3, Black Album. I think
Blueprint 1.
Blueprint 1.
Blueprint
got me
1,
through
and I
college.
take the double CD. I make it condense it down to 1. Blueprint 2.1.
Yeah.
No, the Blueprint 2.
Blueprint, but
we forget
he condensed it and made a 2.1.
made it a double.
He made it a
We
double
forget
album.
all about Blueprint. People forget that album even exists.
What, the Blueprint 2?
Blueprint 3.
Blueprint 3, yeah.
Well,
I bought Cuba Links 2 the day that came out over that.
Yeah, so it's like he's had joints here and there that it's
Very
like
spotty.
The old Jay-Z hops out every now and again. On 444, like I said, on 444, the thing that makes 444 so special with people is he opened up more of himself than he ever has.
Right. It's personal.
Like, that's his most personal album to date. And that is what people are like, oh, shit, he's actually sharing some of himself. And I think that's what resonated more with people than the actual
I like the
project.
music, though. The music for me is
Okay,
no ID.
so you like the music. I mean, I like some of it. I didn't like all of it, but it's like I think that was really what resonated with people, and that's why I say I can go back and I can listen to certain songs, but it's very since the Black album, there's really not a Jay-Z album that I'll just put on the left front.
Let it ride. Okay, man.
Like,
That's all right there.
Good conversation. I gotta before we let you go. You mentioned earlier that you're in the managing now.
yes, indeed.
Okay, now just tell us about some of the groups you got going on, man. You got managing.
I got three clients right now. Well, first, me and business partner Big Doe, we started a management and A&R company. Excuse me, Brothers Grand, and we have Lute. That's Lute. Lute. He signed to the J. Cole's Dreamville Records and Interscope. He's from North Carolina. Singer, songwriter, and engineer, Black Soul. He just co-wrote Mansa Musa on Anderson .Paak's new album. And he did some writing on Blackboard's last album. And then we have producer Praise, who just did the full project with Corey.
Yeah,
exactly.
Praise.
So,
Corey,
yeah, those are 3 clients, man. And
you looking for another?
No, not actively.
Oh damn! Sorry, so.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's one of those things where these are guys that I've been managing Luke since 2015. I've been working with Luke since about 2012, 2013. I've been working with Black Soul since 2011 on my Dirty Pretty Things album. And I've known Praise for a while. So it's just one of the things where I was just, mentoring, helping a lot of young cats. A lot of cats were seeking advice from me. I helped a kid from out of Raleigh, King Mez, get over there with Dr. Dre. He ended up writing on 13 out of the 16 tracks on Compton, being featured on 4. And so, after that, like Doe and my other business partner Rich had been telling me for a while that, they saw this as my calling. So after I got the kid Mez over there with Dre, I just really stepped full force into it. And, I've had a lot of people who want me to manage them and things of that nature. And it's like, honestly, at this point, I don't have the requisite time to take on, a lot of people, because there's different levels to how much you need to help each person. Like, everybody isn't at the same place. So it's like, this person needs more, assistance than this person, or vice versa. So, right now, with all the things I have going on, like, what I ended up doing to supplement was I started, me and a couple of my peoples, we started like a distribution hub where we're not managing, but we set you up with distribution, so you'll have distribution on all digital streaming platforms. And we're helping you, with advice, mentorship, and we're pairing you with the different resources that you may need to further, your label or your career. So that was my way of being able to, because I can't, everybody that comes and seeks my services, I don't have the time to give them that time that they need or they require. So this was my way of being able to still help without, necessarily, taking on the full responsibility of being manager.
Okay. That's dope, man. But we gonna let you get out of here on this Sunday, man. Thanks for coming through.
Appreciate it, man. What a hell of an interview, man.
Hey, man.
Thank y'all for having me. It was fun. It turned into a conversation, so it ain't feel like work.
Right. Hey, man.
That's what's up. That's what our podcast is about, man. We want to have conversations with people, man.
And it don't have to be question and answer.
You know what I'm saying?
Say, so what you think about the weather today?
Yeah,
we
just some hip hop heads, man, from Detroit. You know what I'm saying? That love the culture, and we argue shit. The way this shit came about, we argue every day about hip hop, man. And we said we might as well tape the shit.
Right. So
hey, that's how you do it, man. I definitely, man. I got a special place in my heart for Detroit, man. Detroit always treated me well. Shout out to my man B Styles, who just dropped this project. I think Melon Thornton or Thornton Melon. I know I'm messing it up, but he just dropped this project. Out there, of course, my Slum Village family, Black Milk, man, Hex Murder, Apollo. All my Detroit people, man. Nothing but love for the city of Detroit. Shout out to my man Big Ruck. He's a editor, photo editor over at the Detroit Free Press.
Right, my man.
We went to he's actually the one who gave me the name Big Pooh.
Oh, that's dope.
Wow, that's dope.
Hey,
So your name came from Detroit. Damn, ain't that some shit?
He actually from North Carolina, but he ended up moving out to Detroit to work at the Detroit Free Press, and he's been there for about probably about 15, 20 years now.
Okay. Hey, man.
So where can we find you on social media, man?
Rapper Big Pooh on Twitter, Rapper Big Pooh on Instagram, Rapper Big Pooh in the #1 on Facebook.
Hey, and if you could do us this favor, man, when I go ahead and post the show, I'm gonna tag you in it on the Twitter. Just please, man, retweet it for us, repost it for us, man.
I got you.
My man.
I got you.
I'm gonna tag you in it as soon as we get it up and going. And brother,
we appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you coming through, man. Hey, can we get you back again, man? Is that possible? Next time you drop an album, we probably be next year.
Yeah.
Probably be in
6 months.
Probably be in January, February.
Nah, it ain't gonna be no album coming out no January, February. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? You got the email, man. Just holler at me. You know, don't mind the late responses. You know, I got like 8 emails, so I'll be cycling through them. But we definitely can do this again.
My man.
Yeah, shout out to North Carolina too, man.
Oh yeah, you said in Northern Virginia, and Northern Virginia.
703-704-919-36. They all in the bill.
That's what's up, man.
My man. All right, Rapper Big Pooh, ladies and gentlemen. My man, thanks for coming through.
Hand clap.
Hand clap. Oh yeah, hand clap. Round of applause, and give him the golf clap too.
The golf clap. The Tiger Woods clap.
Oh yeah, for the and for the record.
No doubt, man. Y'all boys have a good one.
My man, thanks for coming through, man. Appreciate it. For sure.
Hey, hold up before you go for the record.
We
need that LB reunion.
Yeah, definitely for the record. We need that.
All right,
my man. We'll see.
All right, peace.
My man, peace.